This is Suvarchala, working as an associate professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at Institute of Aeronautical Engineering College. So, as a part of the database management system, we have been discussing these lectures, a few lectures on structured query language. As a part of SQL lectures, in this session, we would like to discuss about the functions supported by SQL. What are the built-in functions supported by various functions supported by SQL? All of us know the functions means certain task which will be called whenever it is required, and it will be stored somewhere, or it may be as a part of our program also sometimes. So depending upon the need, these functions are created and kept in library most of the time, so that users can use these functions wherever they would like to get the respective results. And also, we can write our own functions also in our programs. The functions related to only our applications we will write, but the functions which are going to be used generally, those are going to be already written by experts, and they'll keep as compiler as a executable functions. So we can use directly them. What are the common functions are going to be used by various levels of users in their programming actually. So SQL supports two kinds of functions, built-in functions as well as the user-defined functions also. We'll discuss about how to write user-defined stored functions and procedures in some other lecture. Today we'll discuss what are the built-in functions are supported by our SQL. Function performs some action, and if you provide some arguments, function definition will be there, function calling will be there. Those who have some idea about some programming language, they aware of how the functions are going to be created, how the functions are going to be invoked, and how the arguments are going to be passed, all these things. So in brief, a function performs an action. To get that respective action, some arguments are going to be passed, as we will call it as a input. These arguments are going to be passed to the function, argument 1, argument 2, etc., argument n, depending upon the function type. And the actions are performed within the function which is already written. The logic was written and kept in library. So these arguments are passed to the function. Those values are taken. Based upon those values, the actions are, which actions supposed to perform in the function, those actions are going to be performed, and the results are going to be outputted as a value. So what we need to provide? We have to know what is the function name and what are the arguments, what are the type of the arguments, number of arguments to be passed by us, so that we will get the need of or required value. In SQL, the built-in functions are categorized into broadly two categories, built-in functions. Basically, functions are built-in functions and user-defined. User-defined means stored functions defined by our user group during the processing or developing a project, etc. But these functions are built-in functions are already developed and stored in a library of SQL. These built-in functions are of two categories, single row functions and multi-row functions. Single row functions means the input will be a single row value and returns one results per row. For each row, one result is going to be returned. Then those are considered as a single row function. Multi-row functions means the input are multiple rows, but the result is going to be one result for all these set of multiple rows. Single row function, input will be one row, as well as output also. For each row, an output is going to be generated. Multiple row or multi-row functions, those will take input as multiple rows and returns a single value for set of input rows actually. We'll discuss in this lecture single row functions. Various types of single row functions are supported by our SQL. These single row functions are used to manipulate the data items. These functions will accept some arguments and returns a single value, the term of the or title of the function type. Tags on each row that is returned. It returns only one result per row each row. And also it may modify the data type also. These functions can be nested also. So these functions accepts arguments that can be a column or an expression and returns a value. General syntax is function name followed by arguments. So depending upon the definition of the function, the arguments are going to be passed. Various kinds of single row functions are supported by SQL. Character type functions, numeric functions, date functions, conversion functions, general functions, so on and so forth. Under each category, multiple functions are there actually. In this session, as an example, some of the important functions are going to be discussed, but very limited functions are discussed here. So please go through the Oracle manual, SQL manual, so that you will get all list of the functions are supported by SQL. And also whenever we are developing any application, then also we can refer the respective manuals so that what are the different functions are supported by the respective compilers can be easily understandable to us. This is only in generating an awareness of availability of the built-in functions in our SQL. The intention of this session is. So first we'll discuss about the character function. Character functions are categorized again two categories. Case manipulation functions, character manipulation functions. Case manipulation functions means to convert uppercase to lowercase, lowercase to uppercase, etc. Character manipulation functions means to join two strings to get the substring or length of the string, insert some substring in the already existing string, and already some leading or trailing characters are there. Those characters are going to be padded. Spaces are going to be filled with the character. Trimming functions, replacing some number of characters or substring is going to be replaced with some other substring. All this can be done by our functions. So if anywhere requirement is there, such requirements, we need not write our logic. We can use these functions and so that what happens, the respective logic can be reduced by us. So case manipulation functions, there are three case manipulation functions are there supported by SQL. Lower, upper, init cap. Lower means all characters of the given string are going to be converted into lowercase. Upper means all characters of the given string are converted into uppercase. Init cap means each first character of the each word of the given string is converted into uppercase. All other letters in the each word are going to be lowercase. So these are some functions, lower, upper and init cap. Examples are in SQL course is there here. SQL is all uppercase and course is first character is capital, other characters are lowercase. So lower, you observe result. This is the lowercase conversion, uppercase conversion. Here in this case, all letters or all characters are lowercase except the first character of the each word, that is uppercase. These functions are string functions actually. And we can use case manipulation functions through a select statement which was discussed in the another session. The select statement is going to be used to retrieve the data. So while retrieving the data, we can convert and we will display according to our need actually the data. Of course, conversion of data within the database is also possible by using update command. You can, which were discussed in the previous sessions, by using update command, you can change also. For example, all names must be converted into lowercase. We can update also. And the select statement only it will change and it will display, but the content of the database is not going to be changed. Content of the database supposed to be changed as per our need means we have to use update command. So you observe here display employee number, name and department number for employee, a particular employee. We are displaying, so when we are comparing HIGGINS, all are lowercase. Remember that SQL is not a case sensitive. It doesn't mean that the constants are not case sensitive. It means that while writing your commands, no need to follow the case sensitiveness. But when we are comparing the character type data or string type data, uppercase are different from the lowercase as the respective ASCII code is different actually. So you observe no rows are selected. Instead of that, if we are writing lower of last name, that means whatever the last name is there, first we are converting into lowercase, then we are comparing with this Higgins. Then we will get the value here. Because Higgins is the first character is uppercase, all other characters are lowercase while within the database. But while comparing this first H and the H, first character of the name was capital H is not at all same. So that's why we didn't get any rows. But when we are converting the data into lowercase and we are comparing with the data, Higgins here, all are in the lowercase. One row was retrieved. So for such purposes, when we are using comparison of the strings, we don't know how the data was stored internally. I mean, while typing the data, we may not be aware of that, no? So it may be lowercase or it may be uppercase or first character may be uppercase, etc. In such cases, while comparing, we will convert into one case and respective conversion process is applicable to the constant also. And some string manipulation functions are there. These are the functions or string manipulation functions. Concat means concatenation of two strings. So arguments must be two arguments must be there, concat string. For uppercase, lowercase, etc., one string argument is enough. So you observe here concat hello world is there, concated. First string, then immediately second string starts. Substring, it will take three arguments. You observe here. The first argument is the input string. Second argument is second and third arguments are numbers. Second and third arguments are numbers. So that means the second argument specifies from which character we have to take this, start the substring process and how many characters we have to take, that is. So this substring hello world 1,5 means in the hello world from first character, first 5 characters must be displayed. That is HELLO, hello. So that means 3 arguments are needed. Substring format specification will be there. Syntaxes are also available in the reference manuals. We can refer before uses of that respective functions so that we can use perfectly for our applications. Similarly, length of hello world means number of characters in the given string will get displayed. And in string means arguments are 2 strings. So the first string is main string, second string is substring. It will search for the substring in the main string. Where it occurs, if it occurs, where it occurs, the starting position will be given, written by the respective function. Starting position. If the string doesn't exist, 0 will be returned. In this example, in string hello world, W means where W exists, the first W is, the first one only, remember. The first W exists in the 6th position. So 6th was written as a result. Similarly, LPAD, RPAD, these are used to replace extra space blanks, either left side or, leftmost blanks or rightmost blank spaces are replaced with the specified character. Then we will use LPAD and RPAD. LPAD means leftmost blanks are going to be replaced by the specified character. RPAD means rightmost. For example, salary, 10. Salary, 10. For example, salary is 24,000. How many columns it will occupy? 5. But how many columns are there? Total 10. So 24,000 are there actually. It's a numeric, no? What happens? It will, right justification will be there, numeric data, character data, left justification will be there. So because of that, it will store the data, display the data in the rightmost 5 columns. The first 5 columns, that is leftmost 5 columns are blanks actually. But by using this L pads, we are using star, no? It will replace with star. Not only star, we can use any pattern actually. We can use any pattern. With that particular pattern, the number of characters are going to be replaced. Similarly, RPAD. RPAD also, for example, in this RPAD, salary 10, star. So, for example, if the salary is going to be RPAD means right side we have to replace blanks. Then 24,000 will be first displayed and all rightmost 2 spaces are going to be replaced with stars. Similarly, replace command. Replace command is used with in a given string. The first substring will be replaced with the second substring. So 3 substrings are going to be arguments for this one. The first string is main string and second string is the substring in the main string. If it exists, the respective substring will be replaced with the second substring. In this example, Jack and Jew, and J must be replaced with BL. So it replaces wherever it occurs, it replaces, not the first occurrence here. Remember, replace means. So J occurs at what, where are the, how many times? First position as well as the position 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10th position. In both places, J will be replaced with BL. So what happens? J replaces with BL means black first word. J replaces with BL means blue second word. So black and blue. Jack and Jew becomes black and blue here, remember. Like that, replace command is used to replace all substrings of the given string with another substring. If it exists, it will replace. If it doesn't exist, it won't replace. Trim command. Trim command means elimination actually. So what are the letters must be trimmed? Either leftmost side or rightmost side. R trim, L trim will be there. Those characters are going to be cut down. That is trim character. As I explained previously, all these functions can be used just by using our any existing database actually. So select employee ID, concat first name, last name. Concat function was used. And name. Next, job ID, concat first name, last name. We are naming it as alias names we are giving. Name. Heading must be name actually. Job ID. And the length of the last name also we are displaying. Another thing what we are doing, insert last name as A and contains A. We are going to string whether it exists or not, we are checking. Okay. So how many number of times it is in string, last name, how many A's are there, that we are going to check actually. So where substring is equal to job ID, 4 is equal to REP. So job ID, 4 means the last letters REP, rep is there, then we have to consider. Wherever rep substring is there, those job IDs only we have to do this process. You observe here, job ID, you are having SCAREP, MKREP, etc. For all those things, the manipulations were made. Name was changed, name was concatenated, last name, first name was concatenated, and heading was given as a name. You observe in the first one. And what is second one? Length. Length of the name was displayed here. That means last name only. What are the length of the last name only, not the concatenated name. Next, contains A. How many A's are there in the respective last name? 0, 2, 3 and 2. So how many A's are there in each of them was displayed. Like that we can give the respective functions in our select to how those are executing to check them actually. Another way is number functions. Various number functions are there. We'll discuss a few number functions here. Round, truncate, mod only, but more number of 4 number functions are available in our SQL. Round means rounding up to how many decimal places it has to be get rounded, how many places it has to get rounded will be given. So 2 arguments. One is the number to be rounded and second one argument gives how many positions we have to round it. Trunc means the difference between rounding and trunc means rounding the next value up to which we are rounding, the next value is greater than or equal to 5. 1 will be added to the current position. In otherwise, just it will be limited. But in case of truncation, irrespective of the checking of the next number to which we are truncating, the data will be just cut out. Mod means it will return the remainder of the division. So you observe here 45.926 up to 2 positions we have to round. So 2 positions means up to 9 to 2 positions. So what is third value in the third position? 6. So 6 means greater than or equal to 5. So 1 will be added. We will get 45.93. For same thing we are giving trunc function. It won't consider any of this checking like that. It will give 45.92. That from third onwards it will be just cut off. Mod of 1600, 300. 1600 by 300 means how much you are going to get here. 100 is the remainder. That remainder is displayed. Mod function. So this is an example by using select statement. Instead of just this here I explained, but we can use the example also. While giving such type of data is not available in any database. So from where the data has to be taken, because we need not take any data was given directly during the function itself, function call itself. You observe, I have given 49.9232 etc. everything. I am not taking data from database, any existing database actually. So that's why I no need to access any of the table at all. So that's why from will be used from dual. Generally, while writing select statement, select gives the attributes which have to be displayed on our as a result from which table the data has to be taken to do the process actually. But there is no need to consider any input table actually. That's why in such cases, anywhere there is no input table exists or there is no input table requirement, we can use dual. Dual, what is dual? Dual, D-U-A-L, dual is a dummy table that we can use to view the results of the functions and calculations for which no data required from the table actually. Okay, remember, dual is a reserve word. D-U-A-L, dual is a reserve word, is used to represent a dummy table. Okay. Similarly, for truncate function also, 45 truncated. And using similarly for mod function, you observe mod of salary comma 500 from employee. Here we are not using dual. You observe select last name salary mod of salary comma 5000. That means remainder of 5000 of salary we are getting from employee where job ID is equal to SARP. So only job ID SARP people only this process has to be done. So you observe the result, last name displayed, salary displayed. You observe salary by 5000. The remainder is going to be how much you are going to get, 1000 you are going to get. That will be displayed in the first record. Second record, the remainder is 3600. Third record, the remainder is 2000. These are displayed here. Right? Like that, we have many functions with numeric. Exponentiation function is there. And logarithmic functions are there. Cos function is there. All trigonometric functions, hyperbolic trigonometric functions, all are supported by our SQL. Only 2-3 functions were discussed here, but SQL have a rich number of input functions. Similarly, date functions. Oracle database stores date in an internal numeric format, that is century, year, month, day, hours, minutes and seconds, including time also. The general or a default display format, when we were discussing the data types of our SQL also, we discussed DD, MON, RR. That means 2 digits for DD, first 3 characters of the month and last 2 digits of the century. Right? So, for example, if you are getting today's date means here, for example, you will be having 8th August or 20th, 19th August 2021. We'll get 19th, 19 hyphen AUG hyphen 21. And we can use these date values for comparison purpose, arithmetic purpose, etc. also. For example, who joined before 1st February 88, we have to get. Then hire date is there in our table. So select last name hire date from employee where hire date is less than. Less than means who joined before. Right. So working with dates, system date is a function that returns date and time of the system actually. Current date and current time of the system. So what is the sysdate? Sysdate is a function which will return the current date and time from the system. So that's why select sysdate from dual. Then system, if you are going to write, select sysdate, system, the current system date we want, select sysdate from dual. Dual is a dummy table, just now we discussed. So sysdate means here, then automatically the current system date will be displayed to us. Remember, the format consists of date as well as time also. We can do some arithmetic operations also with dates. We can add, subtract a number to or from the date for resultant date value. While remembering, please remember, while adding and subtracting some value means first the date will be converted into days. From that, the addition or a subtraction process will be carried out. Then the result will be in the number of days. Subtract 2 dates to find the number of days between those 2 dates. One date D1 minus D2. So how many number of days are there between days only? If you want, you can convert into years and afterwards months also by using some different conversion techniques actually. Add hours to the date by dividing the number of hours by 24. Okay. So like that we can do some process, arithmetic process on our dates and time. You observe here one system date minus, that means what is the experience of each employee or how many weeks experience each employee is having in the, department 90. So we will get to select last name, hire date is the joining date. Current date, how we will get? Sysdate is the current date. The date which is stored in system means the current date of the system. So if you update, you will get current date only. So sysdate minus hire date gives the experience of the particular employee. In terms of days, it will give. Whenever we are doing operations, it will be done in terms of days. So the difference of these 2 dates will be provided in terms of the days. For example, 2 years, 3 months. 2 years means 365 into 2 plus 2 months means 60. Though so many days will be as a result we will get. So that's why how many weeks they are asking. So that's why what we are saying, by 7 we are doing. You observe as weeks we are making. Alias name we are providing. So you consider department ID will be related to only 3 employees, King, Kochar, Dehan, and for them only we are getting 744.625, etc. in terms of weeks. So various date functions are there. We can find months between, number of months between 2 dates can be considered. If you didn't give any only difference as we have seen in the previous slide, it will give number of days between the 2 dates. Add months means calendar months are added to the current date. Next day means next day of the date specified will be, for example, next day of D1. We will get the next day of the Similarly, last day of the month can also be considered. Day means we will get the week value. Round of the date, truncate of the date are also possible. For example, you observe here months between, we are getting so many months in terms of decimal values. Add months means 6 months we are adding. By adding 6 months to January, we'll get Jan is 1, no? 1 plus 6, 7. So we are getting July. Next day means 1st September is Friday. So next day means we are going to get 8th. Okay, next Friday when we are getting again 8th. Next when we are getting Friday same, we are going to get that day, respective date. Last day of the month, February. So 95, 28 is the last day. Similarly, by using system date as some date, you can observe what is system round of system date to month. Till month we are rounding. System date to year. Year we are rounding. Truncating system date to month and year. So 25th July 3 means when we are rounding, July month rounding. Month rounding means up to July is there. 25th July means more than 5. So August. So we'll get 01 August. When we are rounding to year, what is the year? 03. What is the month? 7. 7 is more than 5, no? So that's why next year we will get. For example, instead of having July, we are having May. May is 5. Up to 5 it's okay. 4. If it is April, we will get only 03 only. Rounding means. So what is the next means? Year rounding means month we have to check. Month rounding means date we have to check. So 25th, for example, 01 July, let us assume that I am considering. Instead of July, 01 if you are considering July, what happens? Rounding month means 01, no, you will get only instead of August to July only. It won't be increased because days are only 1. If it is more than or equal to 5 only, it will be considered. 50% only. Similarly, instead of July, April is there, then also year cannot be get rounded. Rounded to the lower level, lower only. But in case of truncate, you observe, just it will remove the respective days. 25 days are removed, so 1st July 3. Rounding year means July will be removed, so 1st Jan 3 will be there. Cut down actually. Similarly, while doing this process, the functions can be data type conversions can be possible in case of SQL also. So how the type conversions are carried out in SQL? By using two kinds of technique. One is implicit data type conversion. Another one is explicit data type conversion. Implicit means then automatically we need not use explicitly a function. It will be converted. Just by assigning the value. The Oracle server can automatically convert the following. Varchar to character, it will convert. Right? Where character or character to number, it will convert. Where character to character, date, it will convert. Number to where character, it will convert. Date to where character, it will convert. Of course, some restrictions are there. From character to number, when we are converting, what you are supposed to consider. For expression evaluation, Oracle server automatically converts the following. Where character to character, when we are doing up expressions, some of the variables are having the values of character type data, it will be automatically converted to number. Similarly, date is there, automatically it will be considered as a character, and character to date can be converted. But sometimes what happens, instead of implicit conversions, we want explicitly from one type of data to other type of data. You observe these arrow marks. Explicit data conversions, character to number is 2 number we will use. 2 number function is used to convert a character to number. And 2 character is used to convert a number to character. Character to date. Right? Date to character, we can use 2 character. Similarly, we can use character, number and date. 2 number and 2 date. 2 character. That means character to number can be converted, character to date can be converted. So while using this two character function, date and some format model will be there. Based upon the model, the conversion process will be carried out. So how to use the two character function with the dates? Two character of date is there, two character of number is there, all of them know, converting a number into character, converting a date into character. So in the format model, it must be enclosed within single quotes, representing it is converting into character, and case sensitiveness will be there because as I told you, it is enclosed within quotes means it's a constant. So lowercase and uppercase must be distinguishable. It can include any valid date from the element, format element, and it has an element to remove the padded blanks, suppress the leading zeros. It's separated from the date value by a character C. So generally when we are converting, we will get Y means full year in numbers. Year means year spelled out in English. MM means two-digit number of the month. MYNTH month means full name of the month. MON means the first three characters of the month. DY means three letters abbreviated of the day. That is F, respective day. Day means full name of the day of the week. DD means numeric value. Sunday 1, Monday 2, like that actually. You observe select last name, two character higher date. We are giving the format also FMDD month YYY. That means we are converting our higher date into this format. Okay. DD means two-digit number of the date. MYNTH month means whole month in the words. And YYY means four letters of the including century, the year. As a higher date. You observe how we have got higher date. 17 June 1987, 21st June, you observe. Day is in two digits. Month is full in the spell out form. And year is in the century. Similarly, two character function is used for with the number also. And the syntax is two character number format model. So here in this format model, some format elements that we can use two character function to display the number value as a character. If 9 is there, represents a number. 0 forces a 0 to be displayed. Dollar places a floating dollar sign. L uses floating local currency symbol. Dot for decimal point, comma for separator. You observe here two character salary. Salary must be converted into two character form of the format here. We have specified for. You please remember, we are going to provide some format specifications while displaying in other languages. Similar to that, here the format specification can be specified by us to display the content of the database on screen actually. The first character must be dollar and our salary must be in this format. Two digits for thousands, three digits for hundreds, tens and units, and followed by a decimal point and two decimal places. So you observe the salary earns the last name is one person. The salary was displayed as $, 6,000. So 6,000 was displayed. Thousands format is comma, thousand zeros in hundreds, tens and ones. As the data is 6,000 is the data of the respective employee salary. Like that, various conversion functions are there. So ASCII to string function, bin to number, cast function, compose, convert, decompose, hexadecimal function, two character number, two character, date. Similarly, two date functions are there. Multiple conversion functions are there. So depending upon the string function, unstring function is there, and how to convert into long objects, large objects, that also are there. Various functions are there. Various functions are supported by our SQL. So that's why whenever we would like to use some function, go through the all list of the functions supported by SQL and choose the respective or needed function. Yes. These functions can be represented by using nesting of the functions. All these single row functions are nesting of the functions are also possible. So depending upon, but remember the arguments, the results must be properly acceptable argument of the next outer function. So f3, f2, f1, etc. So f1 column 1 argument 1 is there. f2 is having a result of f1 as one argument, argument 2. So one of the function get disturbed, then automatically the other functions are not going to be properly executed. So the innermost function is executed first, then next innermost, outer, next outer, and so on and so forth. As in case of nesting of the if structures are there, similar to that, the functions are evaluated. For example, here you observe upper concat substring. First, we have to find out the substring, last name, first character to first 8 characters we have to take. So we are checking that substring and we are concatenating those substring with our last name to this US, under US. Then we are converting into uppercase. Then we are getting like that Hunold underscore US, Ernest underscore US, etc. That means first 8 characters of the name and underscore US was concatenated. All of them are converted into uppercase. So what it will do, first it will find out the first 8 characters. Then to that it is added. 2 strings are concatenated. And the resultant string is, entire string is converted into uppercase. This is the process it was carried out while doing this aggregate of the functions. Various general functions are also supported by us, SQL, NVL, NVL2, null if, coilence, etc. NVL converts null value to any actual value and so on and so forth. And another kind of these are the single row functions. Multiple row functions are there. Those are known as group functions. Group functions operate on set of the rows to give a single result per group. You observe here. So maximum of input is all the salary values. From this maximum is the resulted. To 24,000 is the maximum. So input is taken 20 rows values, but output is single. Such functions are known as aggregate functions. These are aggregate functions are used to get the aggregate values of certain attributes actually. And SQL supports aggregate functions, average, count, maximum, minimum, sum, variance, etc. We'll discuss about these aggregate functions in the next lecture while we are discussing select statement along with the group by class actually. So most of these PPTs are taken from Oracle Corporation presentation, Infosys trading material, etc. Thank you all for watching this video.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.